basically, why in the hell are people feeling entitled, the president of the United States, his supporters, to be like, go back to your country?
This is the I'm 14 and this is deep. Like, she's thinking about her next thought. Or maybe she paused because she thought that she had a gotcha. Well, she got you, man. Like, yeah, like, I'm right. Like, marinating that shit, you fucks.
As if this country is theirs to claim.
So whose is it to
Don't
claim? Whose is it to claim? You know, the spoils in war, the spoils go to the victor, right? Not to the losers. But let's continue.
y'all know by now that there were people here before?
Yes.
There are still people who
Yes.
have indigenous roots to this particular part of the world.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That you guys actually murdered, massacred,
Right. War. That's what happens in war.
pushed out. So it's crazy to me where it's this patriotism that people have, in particular the people who are supporters of this administration, feel a type of way so strong about where they're from, about this identity that they hold so sacred to them. Because
So I'm just trying to understand, what identity are they supposed to claim then? What identity are they supposed to claim? They've been here for hundreds of years. They don't know anything else but America. What identity are they supposed to fucking claim? They're born here. The country was founded. They made the country. They expanded it. They built it. They took it from the natives, yes, by force, just like everywhere else on the planet. Every other country on the planet has been colonized. There is no country on the planet that has not been colonized or been a part of some other regime at some point. And it's crazy how it only applies to, like, America. That only America, for some reason, and Americans aren't allowed to claim their land or say that they're from here. Nobody ever talks about how Genghis Khan took over fucking half the goddamn planet at some fucking point. And now, like, he has, I think it's like 1/4, it might be a bit higher. 1/4 of all Asians have, like, his DNA. You know how insane that is for a quarter of more than 1 billion people on the planet to have your DNA? Because you were that prolific, that strong at war. But it only applies to America. Only Americans are supposed to be ashamed that they came here. They fought the Native Americans for the land. They beat the Native Americans for the land. Mind you, that the Native Americans, I hate this fucking noble savage bullshit that they always try to portray like all the Native Americans were here and they were all singing Kumbaya and holding each other's hands and all the tribes got along. It's like the fucking Avatar where, you know, the Native Americans lived in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked. Like, get the fuck out of here, dog. They were killing each other all the time and taking the fucking lands from each other. And raping the women and taking the children. This noble savage shit is a myth. It's a myth. They weren't peaceful people. Out of all the Native Americans in Mexico, the Native American tribes in that part of the land, most of the fucking other tribes hated the Mayans. Or was it the Aztecs? I think it was the Aztecs. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was the Aztecs because they were brutal. They were fucking brutal. They used to kill the fuck out of their enemies, behead them, use them for sacrifice. It just so happened that some other people came from some other land who were technologically more advanced and fought them for the land, which they had already been doing amongst each other, and beat them for it. I don't understand. There was no country when the settlers showed up here. So when the white settlers founded the country and it became the United States of America, laws were put in place. So yes, go back to your fucking country. Your same fucking country that doesn't allow other people from other countries to come in illegally. Because Mexico's doing the same shit to the Guatemalans right now. They're complaining and trying to kick them out and abusing them. And the cartels are killing them. Oh, but we're not allowed to talk about that, are we? We're not allowed to say what the cartels and the Mexicans are doing and protesting about. It's only when they come to America.
Anyone who doesn't look like them, or anyone who isn't 100% patriotic in the way that the red, white, and blue in this United States of America
So what are you supposed to be?
portray themselves, then you can go back to where you came from.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone outside wanting to do the dirty work that Latinos and non-Latinos alike, whether you're an immigrant or not an immigrant, do. And the privilege and the hatred in somebody's heart to be so passionate about wanting a specific demographic to leave. Hardworking people. Very hardworking people. I am part Latina, I am Boricua and Chicana. My grandmother came from Mexico and she worked in the strawberry fields. She worked in the factory. She was a very, very hard worker, worked extremely hard for her life and the life that she was able to give to my dad and his siblings, which then trickles down to the life that he was able to give me. And so it's incredibly heartbreaking and disappointing and disheartening. And even yesterday, listening to like ads that are out there, like the language that's being used is just so like, where is the humanity in all of this?
I have the same question for you about the Mexicans in Mexico that are doing it to Guatemalans and the people coming from south of the border. Where is the humanity? What about the language they're using? Why is it that only Americans have to be nice and just take people in as they come because blah, 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 we're a nation of immigrants, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I don't understand what the end game. I know what the end game is. It's just open the fucking borders and let anybody come in here. And she's talking about, they're doing jobs that Americans aren't willing to do. It's not that Americans aren't willing to do it. It's that the companies aren't willing to pay the wages needed to be paid for Americans to do these jobs. So she's advocating for slave labor, basically, slave wages at $2, $3, $4, $5 an hour, cheap migrant labor, right, that illegal immigrants do, instead of advocating for Americans to do those jobs for good pay. This is a No Sabo kid. She might have been in Mexico maybe a couple of times, but she's never lived there. She's never been around none of these people. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't even know that her people are actively kicking out the Guatemalans. Where's the humanity? Where's the humanity? What about the language being used against them? She'll never complain. Even if she knows, she'll never complain about that because it'll show how hypocritical these people are. They don't actually believe the shit they preach. It's just like my mother, man. I've never given this example, but it's the same thing, right? My mother is a liberal, and I have a great relationship with my mother. We don't let politics really separate us, and she knows how I feel she knows how I feel about the illegal immigration subject. But my mom is on this woman's side. She's saying, "Oh, Trump shouldn't be deporting these people. Like, who's going to do these jobs? Blah blah blah." And so I flip it on her because my mother's a hypocrite in this sense. I say, "Well, how do you feel about the Haitians in the Dominican Republic, right? Because we're Dominican. How do you feel about the Haitians, the illegal immigrants in Haitian, and the illegal immigrants in DR from Haiti? Oh no, those people got to go. Why don't you have the same? So the Dominicans are allowed to get rid of their illegal immigrants, right? The Haitians or whatever. But the Americans aren't allowed to do the same with their illegal immigration problem. Why? She has no answer. And these people wouldn't have an answer. Because it's just hypocrisy. It's just hypocrisy. But those are my thoughts on this video. That's all I got to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with her, or what are your thoughts on illegal immigration? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.